First question, the three founders of Indian English poetry. Answer, A.K. Ramanujan, Mahapatra, R. Parthasarathi. Second question, Dash by A.K. Ramanujan explores the universal toll a parent's passing can have on a child. Answer, Obituary. Third question, Obituary is Dash stanza poem that is separated into sets of 7 lines. Answer, 8. Fourth question, the 3 Ds his father left when he died. Answer, dust, debt and daughters. Fifth question, a notice of death in newspaper including a brief biography. Answer, obituary. Sixth question, the narrator of the poem Obituary is. Answer, the son. Seventh question, a bedwetting grandson named by the toss of a coin after him. What is the meaning here? Answer, grandson. Grandson's name is similar to grandfather's. Eighth question, what is the theme of the poem Obituary? Answer, aftermath of a father's death and all the things he left behind, physical and emotional. Ninth question, the tone of the poem is a mock ironic tone. 10th question, the attitude of the poet on his father's death is. Answer, he is not sorrowful, only a sort of dissatisfaction in his words. 11th question, why does the poet use the word passed on in the first stanza? Answer, he used it in a polite way to avoid the word die. 12th question, a house that leaned slowly through our growing years on a bent coconut tree in the yard. What does this mean? Answer, the house he left for the family is in a very bad condition. 13th question, being the burning type, he burned properly means, what is the meaning of that? Answer, either he was a bad-tempered man or the years of sufferings made him dry to burn fast. 2 meanings are possible there. Next question, 14th. Who is the main human figure in the poem Obituary? Answer, father of the narrator who is dead. 15th question, in the third stanza of the poem, there is mentioning of eye coins. What does this symbolize? Answer, he was greedy. 16th, what is the meaning of gingerly? Answer, cautiously or carefully. 17th question, no long-standing headstone with his full name and 2 dates. What is the meaning of that? Answer, his father has no grave as his ashes and remains were thrown in the river. 18th question, what did the children do with the bones of the father? Answer, after the cremation, the children picked up the bones and immersed in a place where 3 rivers met. It's Thriveni. 19th, how did his father die? Answer, due to heart failure. 20th one, which newspaper is mentioned in the poem? Answer, Madras newspaper. 21. How did the poet come across his father's obituary? Answer. Somebody told him that his father's obituary is in the inside column of a Madras newspaper. 22. The groceries mentioned in the poem. Answer. Salt, coriander, and jaggery. 23. What does the changed mother mean? Answer. A sorrowful mother. In Brahmin society, a widow has to live a painful life as she has no value after her husband's death. 24. And more than one annual ritual. What does this line show? Answer. The poet is showing his dislike for the annual rituals for the dead as he sees it as a waste of time and money. 25th. The poet says that his father achieved nothing in this world except dash. Answer. Two lines. Obituary. 26. What is the dead father's legacy in the poem Obituary? Answer. Poverty and burden for his sons. 27. Dash find a considerate place in the poem Obituary. Answer. Indian rituals. 28. The poetic technique used in Deaths and Daughters. Answer. Alliteration. The poetic device used in Papers and Daughters is. Answer. Assonance. 30th question. A river, a love poem for a wife of mothers among other things. These are the poems of dash. These types of questions we can see in HSA and HSST question papers. That's why I gave this. Answer. Ak Ramanujan. 31. Attipat Asura Krishna Swami, who is the father of Ak Ramanujan, is. Answer. An astronomer and professor of mathematics. 32. Ak Ramanujan got Sahitya Academy Award in the year 1999. 33. For which work he got Sahitya Academy Award? Answer. Collected Poems, 1997. Posthumously. 34. The poem Obituary is taken from the collection named. Answer. Relations. 35. Obituary by Ak Ramanujan was published in. Answer. 1971. First line of the poem is. Father, when he passed on, left dust on a table of papers, left debt and daughters. 37. Last line of the poem. Answer. And he left us a changed mother and more than one annual ritual. That is the last line. 38. A.K. Ramanujan is a bilingual writer who writes in English and Kannada. 39. In dash, after the death of the father, the burden of the family fell on the shoulders of the eldest son. Answer. Indian Patriarchal Society. 40th question. How was the birth of the father? Answer. Caesarean birth. 41. His birth was in a. Answer. Brahmin ghetto. 42. A.K. Ramanujan's status as a poet can be compared with that of. Answer. Nisim Ezekiel and Kamala Das. 43. Dash is the central theme in A.K. Ramanujan's poetry. Answer. Family. 44. Who argued strongly for giving local non-standard dialects their due. Answer. A.K. Ramanujan. 45. Whose poems are remembered as enigmatic works of startling originality, sophistication, and moving artistry. Answer. A.K. Ramanujan's. 46. His father died when A.K. Ramanujan was dash old. Answer. 20 years. 47. All life is one. Differences are superficial. They are only in the outer, they are only in the body. Who said? Answer. A.K. Ramanujan. 48. In whose poems one can find the taste of intertextuality and hybridity. Answer. A.K. Ramanujan's poetry. 49. Which poem by A.K. Ramanujan reminiscences his father's death? Answer. Obituary. 50th question and the last question is, lifespan of A.K. Ramanujan is 1929 to 1993. I have taken a bit time to discuss these questions because some of my subscribers have asked me to lessen my speed. That's why a little bit lagging. If you want to make it a bit more fast, you can inform me. And in the next video, we will meet with another topic. Till then, stay safe. Thank you.